Okay, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to our community zoning information meeting today. We'll get started. We have 4 cases today. So just as a heads up, we're changing our format for this one just very slightly. Today, those watching on YouTube, please send your questions and comments to my colleague, Richard Hathcock. His email address is richard.hathcock@cityofsouthfultonga.gov. The rezoning and special use cases that you hear tonight will be heard at the May 25th Planning Commission meeting, and then again at the June 14th Council public hearing. The variance cases will be heard at the May 19th Zoning Board of Appeals meeting, the variance cases. So our first case tonight is Z22006. It's a city-initiated rezoning at 0 Cascade Road in District 1. So there is assemblage of parcels that are owned by Fulton County, and the city of South Fulton has collaborated with them and reached out to them to discuss our intent to rezone these parcels from A, medium density apartments, to R3, single family residential. The site is currently vacant, and so it's just trees, and the city does not propose any development at the site at this time. It will still remain undeveloped until it is sold or until the property owner decides to build something on it. So there isn't any land disturbance being proposed as part of this rezoning proposal, but the rezoning is going to R3. It's a less intense use. It's in compliance with the future land use plan that was adopted by council in December. And it is also similar to some of the other zoning designations in the area adjacent to the property and across the street. So we have some maps for you. These are the couple of parcels that are being included in the city-initiated rezoning, the ones here that are zoned A. Behind it is Guilford Forest, the Guilford Forest subdivision that's part of the city of Atlanta. Here is Cascade Road, and then here is New Hope Road to kind of get us situationally oriented. And then this is a future land use map. You can see that the entire area here, that's part of the city of South Fulton. The future land use is suburban neighborhood. And then here's the site again. You can kind of see this is Trammell Crow Park. And all of this, as you can see, is currently undeveloped. And so that's where the site is. So before we go on to the next case, Mr. Hathcock, are there any questions or comments on this one?
At this time, I'm seeing no questions on this case.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to our next case.
Marissa, I think you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. So I'll go back. So I said this is a variance case. It's for Stonecrest Estates, that's in District 4. So this site is currently zoned R3. It's already entitled for 120 single family homes. And the applicant is requesting a two-part variance. So one of them is to allow a retaining wall that exceeds 8 feet in height, and the other part of the variance is to reduce the front yard setback from 50 feet to 25 feet. And that's just because of the topography of the area. There's a steep slope at the site. And so in order to build the homes and make the site work, they need a retaining wall. And then because there's a retaining wall, they kind of need to reduce the front yard setback. So that means the houses are going to be a little bit closer to the street so that the houses aren't too close to the retaining wall in the rear. So as I mentioned earlier, this is zone R3 already. It's here at the intersection of White Mill Road. So this is White Mill Road. And then this is Cedar Grove Road. And this is South Fulton Parkway. kind of to get us situationally oriented. The future land use is rural neighborhood, and we will go into the site plan. Here's the site. You can see there's been some land disturbance already. The homes that meet the variance request aren't these in the front, they're in the back. And this is a residential area. So next slide. And the applicant, Mr. Puckett, is on the line. Would you like to walk us through your site plan a bit? Or give us an overview of your project?
Sure. Good evening. I'm Tyson Puckett. I work with land engineering. I'm a design engineer for this neighborhood. As you were saying, we have 5 walls on site, or proposed walls on site, that will exceed the 8-foot maximum. They're the ones on this shown in red. Yeah, you're going over it with your cursor. Like for example, lot 36, that's one in the cul-de-sac down there. It has about 70-foot of elevation drop across a 3/4 acre lot. And it's also right against a sanitary sewer line that already exists in the back there. And that's the case on several of these lots to the south of this property. So a big way to deal with that is using retaining walls. And in our case, 8-foot retaining walls are not, 8-foot or less retaining walls are not applicable, because we can't exactly tie to the existing slopes within that amount of distance. And we'd like to have these lots buildable, keep continuity throughout the neighborhood. So as you see, all of those red walls that are listed are proposed above 8 feet. And other than that, that cul-de-sac where you see the 2 walls to the southwest over there, that's where we're requesting the setback variance from 50 foot to 25 foot. And this will allow for more of a backyard for the peoples who their homes are built in this cul-de-sac. For lot 38 over there, it doesn't have a lot of topography relief that we need, but we'd like to keep the setback consistent through that cul-de-sac. So that's the reason for adding that to this variance. And also you can see the wall, the Ratani R8 12 deco right there that we put on there. That's the decorative block wall that is required for the Cedar Grove overlay district, which this neighborhood is also in. So that's why we've added that. And then each of these walls will be built with a safety fence at the top. And I've added three photos of example safety walls, plus the details to the right of how those are to be constructed to ensure they're safe and not affect the wall as well. And that's pretty much it for this neighborhood. That's all I've got on this site plan.
Great, thank you, Mr. Puckett. Mr. Hathcock, do we have any questions or comments on this case yet?
At this time, we do not have any.
Okay, so we can move on to our next case. So our next case is a request for a special use permit at 5370 Campbellton Fairburn Road, Suite 200. And this one is also in District 4. So the applicant is requesting a special use permit to open a wax studio, offering body waxing, facials, hair braiding, and lash services. So the request that she has is in compliance with both the zoning district and the future land use category, which is community live work. And so this is where we are. This is Union City and this is Union City. This is the public shopping center that's at the intersection of Campbellton, Fairburn, and South Fulton Parkway. And so the proposed business is going to be adjacent to the Publix in the same shopping center. And this is the future land use is community live work, and it's already zoned MIX. And this site is completely built. And so she's just leasing a space within this public shopping center to operate the business. And then here's kind of an aerial map to give you a better understanding of where it is. So her business is on this side of the Publix. And here is a floor plan that was submitted. So this is the front door. So you walk in, there's a receptionist area, there are some seats here, and then there's like a counter where you meet the receptionist. She has 3 rooms, another room here and another room here with a waiting area, a restroom, and then there's the exit in the rear here. And the applicant was able to share some photos of the inside of the space. Is actually already designed. The furniture is in there and everything. The applicant is really just waiting on her special use permit. And so the applicant, Ms. Williams, is here with us today. Ms. Williams, would you like to tell us about your business?
Hi, I'm Rhonda Williams. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on Crown Royal. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so like Marissa said, thank you for the presentation. It was awesome. We are wanting to provide hair removal services to the community by waxing, lashing, and braiding. My understanding is that the area does not have that yet, but we are wanting to provide that to our community.
Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. Mr. Hathcock, are there any questions or comments about this proposal yet?
I do not have any questions on this proposal at this time.
Okay. And also, everyone, I know that normally we send our questions and comments to the planning email address, but if you are logging in a little bit later, today we're sending our questions and comments to Mr. Hathcock. His email is richard.hathcock@cityofsouthfultonga.gov. So just reiterating that for you guys. And then our last case tonight is a special use permit for a hookah lounge. It's located at 5550 Old National Highway in District 6. So the applicant is requesting a special use permit for a hookah lounge. The site is currently zone C2, and the future land use is regional live work, and the request is in compliance with both the zoning district and the future land use plan. So here we are. This is Old National Highway. This is Jerome Road, and this is Surrey Trail. And so her site is going here. And as you can see, the site is already zone C2. And just to make us a little more situationally aware, here's an aerial map of what's around. And here's a floor plan that was submitted by the applicant. So here's the front door. So you walk in, there's a hostess stand. There's an area here for where you're waiting for your table. There are some outdoor seating options. It's going to have a bar and a full kitchen. And it has some emergency exits. And the applicant has a presentation. The applicant, Ms. Phillips, is here. Ms. Phillips, would you like to tell us about your business?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I am grateful. Thank you so much, Marissa, for that overview. That was actually perfect. If you could push over to slide, forgive me, slide 7. I think that will be, or even slide 8. Slide 8 is fine. That'll actually wrap it up a little better.
This one?
No, keep going.
This one?
The next one. Right there. So basically, we currently have about 6 locations on Old National that I can think of offhand that have the same amenities here. The difference is what we would like to provide. We would like to provide a more upscale opportunity for Old National. I've been watching a lot of the city council meetings and just reviewing a lot of like the new South Fulton growing forward. And we would love to be a part of that transition, with Old National Corridor being something that they're trying to focus on rebuilding and revitalizing. We'd love to be one of those nightlife locations that recreate the aesthetic for Old National. So in doing so, we would like to create different opportunities such as an exclusive membership for hookah. We would like to put merchandise in there as well for like kind of giving you a Hard Rock Cafe experience, only on a more urban upscale nightlife scale. Definitely full entrees and tapas. Everything will be custom created, house-made sauces, house-made cocktails, house-made syrups, custom hookah flavors, things that you can only find at our location. We want to keep everything as COVID friendly so that it is recession proof a little bit. And we can still operate during those times. We're making sure that we have hand sanitizing stations throughout the venue, temperature checks as well as face masks available upon entry, anything to ensure that you're comfortable, you feel safe, and you're still allowed to have a good time. Additionally, we wanted to provide an opportunity to kind of have a social media area because everybody knows that content is what's selling and content is what's keeping people going. So creating that aesthetic as well, and just giving you a different upscale vibe that is a little bit different from what is used to being on Old National. That is the experience that we're going for.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Are there any other slides that you want us to go to on your presentation?
No, we don't have to revisit any.
Okay, great. So that concludes our presentation tonight. That was a quick one, but as always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and we'll be more than happy to, talk to you about any of the projects, answer questions that you have. And also, please look out for the notices for the public hearings that are going to be coming up. And these applicants are also going to be hosting community meetings that are going to be coming up also, where you guys can learn more about the projects and the cases. So thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.